Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sonic CD Part 2, where we cover Collision Chaos, which I hate. I hate this stage.
I hate it because it starts with Amy. Once again, this is Note Ladro, and there's an annoying wall of spikes in your way that apparently Metal Sonic just says, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I did show that, in the beginning of the stage you can pick up the shield, which is very vital because there are these annoying badniks in this level known as the Slicers. We all know and love them from Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah, meh. I actually never knew that shield was there, so this was a massive pain for me.
And in this part, time travel!
Oh my god. You think they could have done a little less with the glow lights, or made them like not, kind of made them a little transparent? Maybe tried to? I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they wanted to.
There's one thing that I did appreciate about the company doing for Sonic CD here is shortening the load times between going into the future or the past in each stage or level.
Definitely.
And,
one thing I will fault them for is this entire level.
I had to be really careful here because if you travel to the future or the past, your shield is gone permanently until you find the next one.
Yeah, and you need those 50 rings to get to that special stage.
Yep, very much so. But as as Evan stated in the last part, there is this option you can go to the future or the past. But the way to do that, you have to pass a signpost that says the words of either the past or the future.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much go 88 miles per hour.
I actually never even thought of that. But yeah, unfortunately that can be a serious problem. Like, definitely foresight and posting these signposts was not their forte. I played through not all of Sonic CD, but I did play through at least half of it. At the very least I played through the level that's after this. I can't recall the name though. But it does require, sometimes you will just hit a signpost and there will be next to absolutely no way that you're going to be able to pick up enough speed within the area to pass through time. So sometimes it's just all about taking your pick of the location and, timing everything correctly.
Oh yeah. You'll know this because in this part of the gameplay, I do cover two zones, Collision Chaos and Tidal Tempest here.
That's what it is. Is that the level where they had all the annoying as hell arrows that flew around? Oh my god. Please no. That's where my temper ran out. I only had this on the I think it was the Mega Collection, as I said last time. But yeah, it was I don't recall it saving your progress. If there was an option to save your progress, it never popped up. Unfortunately, I guess they were too lazy to put that in the quote-unquote Mega Collection.
Yeah.
But because of that, Tidal Tempest annoyed me to no end, and, I didn't have a lot of free time the time I was playing it, so not wanting to repeat Tidal Tempest over and over and over and over and over, and Collision Chaos, I never really progressed much farther.
Yeah, and I mean, I will state it right now that Collision Chaos is one of my least favorite levels in this entire game. But surprisingly, I did so well in this playthrough, so...
That score is pretty high.
Yeah. I scored pretty high in this gameplay. You'll be actually astonished at how much I scored at the very end of this gameplay here, so...
Oh, did I shared with you my my high score on the Casino Nights pinball game for Generations ended up being, right?
I still think that's ridiculous.
What was it? 310,000 I think I hit?
Yeah, I think that
was it.
I think the
I had a
highest
screenshot somewhere.
I think the highest score I ever got is I think it was like 60,000 points or something.
Well, I mean, just at one point it basically said I got what was it? I got 4 jackpots in a row, and after that, I simply got 3 tails icons in a row, which is of course nowhere near close to a jackpot. But literally for the next like 8-10 minutes, it just kept spitting rings out at me, and at that point, I thought it was pretty much saying, oh, well, you know what? You got 3 jackpots in a row. Here, go fuck yourself. Get out of here. Take these rings, get a high score, and leave. But I saw you pop the what is it? The decoy metal?
Yeah, the hologram of Metal Sonic, which pretty much just frees the badniks. Well, not the badniks, I should say the animals that you'll see hopping along in the screen here.
The flickies, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things that that ensures that you'll have a good future in this game, but you also have to find a roboticizer, which can be a pain in the ass, but...
It's usually easier to, since the past or future, what is it? They tend to be harder. I remember the future stages tend to be a little harder than the past or the so on and so forth. Pardon.
Yeah, now that you mention that, you know, in each stage, not each stage, I should say, each zone, every boss encounter in each zone, it always takes place in the future. And now that Evan, you know, mentions how the future parts of the stages are hard, I have to really agree with him on that. You know, it really gets hard to get to the boss area, especially in the last zone, Metallic Madness.
I'm still confused by these special stages. The background just makes absolutely no sense.
Right. last time we saw a planet, and now we're in some...
Oh, now we got a planet, and now there's just a giant, kinda looks like it was partially submerged and then rose out of the sea, Fortress Island space station thing. Like a volcano decided that said, hey, instead of a tropical island, I am going to erupt into a space station. Cyber volcano.
I will say that, you know, despite my hate toward Collision Chaos, the boss is easy as fuck.
Robotnik is, or, well, yeah, he was still Robotnik at this stage. That dude's really gotta stop the pinball machines.
Yeah.
And he's like, I mean, we had, what was it, what was it called? The entire pinball one. Sonic
Spinball.
Spinball, there we go. I wanted to say a dungeon because I knew it was like, the theme was like, Robotnik has invented a pinball dungeon or something.
Yeah.
I remember that was part of it.
Yeah, and, you know, it took place in the sewers, the volcanoes.
It took forever to get through that game, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember getting to the volcano part before, once again, I had it on the Mega Collection, so... wasn't too pleased with having to spend literally an entirety. And back then, I believe I had some issues where my GameCube would just randomly clip.
I never bothered playing Sonic Spinball thoroughly. Like, I did, you know, I have Sonic's Sega Smash Pack for the PlayStation 3. And it does include Sonic Spinball. But I never really gotten a chance to beat the entire game. Like, I think I was still stuck at level 1 and decided to say fuck it.
Yeah, honestly, I think the volcano must have been the 2nd or 3rd level, but I literally got to volcano, probably played that for about 3 minutes before saying, screw it, I don't want to play this anymore. Because I mean, even to get through the first, like, sewer level, it took me forever. I mean, I'm not, like, you know, mentally retarded when it comes to addressing pinball games, but, you know, just the essence of what you had to do to actually, quote-unquote, get through or unlock or whatever was insane. Like, it was just annoying.
Well, see, Sega, from what I've heard, because I've watched other Let's Players that did Sonic Spinball, God rest their souls, that I mean, I praise them for giving us the Spinball playthrough, and, you know, I heard that the last stage was the hardest of them all. But, from what I understand, this when Sonic Spinball released, they wanted to put Sonic into, like, a different perspective. Like they did with the Game Gear ports of Sonic Drift, I believe it was called, where Sonic was in a go-kart kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much a rip-off of Mario Kart.
Why is the fastest thing in the world in a car?
I don't know. I really do not know. Yeah, you're gonna be surprised here because I failed to get this time stone. No, literally, it's one of those special stages that takes forever to get to you.
Don't you have multiple chances to get time stone?
Yeah, definitely, and I do show them off, but I didn't want to show off my fails because I'm not kidding when I say that that special stage that said that I failed upon literally took me 10 to 15 minutes to try and get. I'm
pretty amazed that you just dodged all those fireballs. That was pretty fantastic. Gotta admit.
Well, playing too much Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, kind of just picked up on when I started playing Sonic CD again.
It's still pretty impressive though.
Yeah.
Takes a bit of calculation, timing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's nice.
But going to the level design of Tower Tempest, as you can tell, it's taken place in underwater pretty much. This is our only underwater stage that we'll get in this Sonic CD playthrough. But it's for it being an underwater stage, I don't really mind it that much, to be honest. Like there are some Sonic the Hedgehog levels that are underwater, and I couldn't really like. For example, the Labyrinth Zone of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 made me want to rip my own hair out.
No, please. No.
But, I didn't mind Tidal Tempest that much. And look at that score. It just keeps getting higher and higher.
Goes up and up and up and up and up.
But I failed to get to Stone 2, smiley face.
You failed 2 in a row?
Yep.
You make it 3, we're gonna have a problem.
No, I promise you, these are the only fails. These are the only fails in this gameplay. My second attempt on getting the stones did take longer, but I cut it short to where I get the time stones. So
yeah, I always hated when they'd have like the boss levels where Robotnik would just kind of taunt you.
Yeah.
Be like, ha, follow me.
Yeah, but in this boss in particular, you chase after Dr. Robotnik here, and you just hit him 4 times until you reach him underwater, which is easy boss attempt number 2. No, literally, this is like the second most easiest boss battle in Sonic CD. All you have to do is pop the bubble, pop the bubble, pop the bubble, pop the bubble.
I know a certain Finding Nemo character that would slay you if he ever heard you say that.
I was making a SpongeBob SquarePants reference.
I know, but still.
Yeah. But no, this is pretty simple. All you have to do is pop the bubbles, and when he gets down, you just hit him once, and that's it.
Yeah, and the bubbles pretty much provide you breath.
Yep.
So it's not like there's much of a challenge there. You don't even really have to focus on staying, good on the air intake, which can't be said for some Sonic levels.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the second part here. Next part, I'll be going through 2 more stages. And yeah, that's about pretty much it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. So next time, we'll be covering the next 2 stages. Until then, I am the Blue Hedgehog 2010.
I am Note Ladro, and remember that generally, underwater Sonic levels suck.
Take care, everyone.